Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is September 20th, 2025, and we are in the New Testament book of Luke. We are going to read chapter 13, verse 10 to 35. So we're going to end off at the end of this chapter. Uh, Luke has Jesus teaching in a synagogue. It's the Sabbath day, and a woman comes in suffering from an infirmity. What is the infirmity? We're not told. So she's just been sick. It's been sick for a long time. And presumably everyone understands that she's sick and knows that she's sick, so they know that she's healed when she's healed. And Jesus heals her, and immediately the ruler of the synagogue wants to chastise him and says, well, you can't do that on the synagogue. It's the Sabbath day. You can't do that. And Jesus teaches and says, hey, you know what? What isn't it right to do good? Even the Sabbath day is about worshiping God. What could be more worshipful to God than healing a long-time sick person and giving them relief and curing them and making them whole? Don't fight people being made whole. And he puts them to shame, the adversaries to shame. So we see Jesus doing what Jesus does. He's confronted by the powers that be over what he's doing, and he reminds the powers that be that, hey, that's what you're supposed to be doing. And he gives us two parables about the kingdom of God. He equates it to a mustard seed, he equates it to a leavened seed, with both ideas being, hey, it's just a little thing. That's the kingdom. It starts as a little thing, but it's going to grow and grow and grow until it fills everything. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to be part of. That's what we're helping nurture. Not getting in the way. And speaking of way, the way to God is a narrow way, Jesus tells us. So this idea that, hey, he healed everybody and everybody's sins are forgiven and we don't have to really worship or read the Bible. We're just all going to heaven now. That's not what Jesus came to tell us. He's going to tell us what he means. It's a narrow way. It's an intentional way. It's the way that Jesus came to be an example to us for and to show us how to live that way so that we can follow him through that narrow way. And he laments over Jerusalem as he's coming into the final moments of his earthly life before he's crucified and resurrected. So let's go ahead. We're going to read Luke chapter 13, verse 10 to 35. Now he was teaching in one of the synagogues on the Sabbath, and behold, there was a woman who had a spirit of infirmity 18 years, and was bent over and could in no way raise herself up. But when Jesus saw her, he called her to him and said to her, Woman, you are loosed from your infirmity. And he laid his hands on her, and immediately she was made straight and glorified God. But the ruler of the synagogue answered with indignation, because Jesus had healed on the Sabbath. And he said to the crowd, There are 6 days on which man ought to work. Therefore come and be healed on them, and not on the Sabbath day. The Lord then answered him and said, Hypocrite! Does not each one of you on the Sabbath loose his ox or donkey from the stall and lead it away to water it? So ought not this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan has bound, think of it, for 18 years, be loosed from this bond on the Sabbath. And when he said these things, all his adversaries were put to shame, and all the multitude rejoiced for all the glorious things that were done by him. Then he said, What is the kingdom of God like, and to what shall I compare it? It is like a mustard seed, which a man took and put in his garden, and it grew and became a large tree, and the birds of the air nested in its branches. And again he said, To what shall I liken the kingdom of God? It is like leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal, till it was all leavened. And he went through the cities and the villages, teaching and journeying toward Jerusalem. Then one said to him, Lord, are there few who are saved? And he said to them, Strive to enter through the narrow gate, for many, I say to you, will seek to enter and will not be able. When once the master of the house has risen up and shut the door, and you begin to stand outside and knock at the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open for us. And he will answer and say to you, I do not know you, where you are from. Then you will begin to say, We ate and drank in your presence, and you taught in our streets. But he will say, I tell you, I do not know you, where you are from. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth when you see Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of heaven, and yourselves thrust out. They will come from the east and the west, from the north and the south, and sit down in the kingdom of God. And indeed there are last who will be first, and there are first who will be last. On that very day some Pharisees came, saying to him, Get out and depart from here, for Herod wants to kill you. And he said to them, You go tell that fox, Behold, I cast out demons and perform cures today and tomorrow, and the third day I shall be perfected. Nevertheless, I must journey today, tomorrow, and the day following, for it cannot be that a prophet should perish outside of Jerusalem. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the one who kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to her, how often I wanted to gather your children together as a hen gathers her brood under her wings, but you are not willing. See, your house is left to you desolate. And assuredly I say to you, you shall not see me until the time comes when you say, Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.